Welcome to Go Get Us podcast where we haven't quite decided yet, but we're going to keep doing it anyway. I'm Colby.
And I'm a beaver, and I've had it up to here with all this damn work. But you can call me Felix.
What? What
Get
work?
it? You know, the dam work? The work on the dam?
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Okay. It works
So
on two levels.
let me step in here. Let me go ahead and let me mansplain this to you. Beavers aren't typically super active in the winter time. You know why?
Why? Because they're butter dry?
Because everything is ice, and the main driving factor to beavers trying to make dams is they hate the sound of running water. So fun fact, if you around a bunch of beavers just play the sound of running water, they will go apeshit trying to stop it. It's crazy.
Damn.
Yeah.
Like literally, damn. Get it? I'm proud of myself. I did not know that. I don't know a lot about beavers. I've never met one.
Yeah, me either. But I watch a guy on YouTube named Post10, and his whole content is unclogging culverts and clearing drains.
You were going to say beaver related.
I mean, the thing is, most of the time,
adjacent.
Yeah, it is beaver adjacent because clearing out these culverts, beavers will dam up these culverts. And so he has to go in there and toss all the sticks and stuff away. And my favorite thing is there are times when he's so, I can't take down the beaver lodge, which is over there, but I have to clear out this culvert. And I'm going to do it today, but I guarantee if I come back tomorrow, it'll be dammed up again. And in a couple of videos, he's been I'm going to clear it out right now, and then I'm going to leave a camera here. And sure enough, overnight, you can just see a beaver just chewing stuff and shoving it in the culvert. God, stop it. I hate the sound.
I feel like one of those hunters in Alaska would people would watch them on YouTube, the people that make sure wolves and animals don't come into town or to where they work.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think that'd be. I'd like to do that job, but then I'm just ooh, it's too cold.
It is too cold. I was thinking about it because it's not out of the question that my wife and I will move out of the country because of just gesturing wildly at the state of America and especially Texas.
I don't know,
but
the state of the world is in shambles right now. I don't want to move really.
I mean, the thing is, it takes one injury in America to just kill you and make you a homeless person. So I'd
fair.
rather take my chances in a country that can help support me through that and things will be okay.
I don't know.
But the thing is, obviously top of the list is Canada, right? Because you can drive there, and we like my wife's parents. They are great, and so
they live in Canada.
No, they don't. But they drive a lot, and so
I'll say you alluded to them living in Canada.
Oh no! We would live in Canada. And because it's driving distance, my wife's parents would visit more often. If we were to go and live in the country we actually want to live in, which is New Zealand, we would see them never. It would be never.
But Colby, I wouldn't be able to visit you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh man.
Yeah, I think I could live with that. That's okay.
How dare you?
The thing is, we were thinking about it, and going up to Canada is oh god, just I've talked to friends in Canada, and starting in September, October, it's you just don't go outside at night because it's just death. It's death cold out there, and that happens until March, and so you have a good 4 or 5 months where it's it is nice out here. Things are great. I love it. The snow is not happening, but other times you have to have a snow blower and chains on your tires and buy salt and stuff.
That's the worst.
Wild.
That should keep you from going to Canada. That's just the worst.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you break your leg in a really weird way, or you get a weird cancer, and then all of a sudden you're just destitute, right? So
well, just I mean.
Just don't get it. Just don't get cancer.
In your case, it wouldn't affect your job performance much because you work from home.
I mean, yeah, that is true.
But I would say just
the healthcare costs alone are exorbitant. Like even with insurance, there's some treatments that are like, a doctor recommends you do this treatment. You say, okay, submit it to the insurance. You start the treatment, and then 3 weeks later, the insurance is like, yeah, no, we're not covering that. And you're like, oh, it's $50,000 per vial. Like, no joke. My dad, so my dad had stage 4 lung cancer, right? And he went through chemo for a little while, and then they were like, well, it's not responding as well as we want to, so we're going to switch you over to this like relatively new kind of experimental drug. And he's like, okay, that's fine. And everything was covered because he had Medicare. And like, so that was totally fine. But like, he looked at the bill, and they were every injection that he got, which was like twice a week, like every treatment thing that he got, every vial was $10,000. So like $10,000 twice a week. Like, you can imagine he was doing it for like a year. So that's like $520,000 that like, I mean, if Medicare didn't cover it, if he didn't have insurance to cover it, like, what is your option at that point? Is it lower if you're, like, if you're paying out of pocket? How much lower? Is it just $1,000 at that point? Like,
I'd be like,
that's still $52,000 you gotta pay.
Yeah, I'd be like, well, it's just my time to die then.
Yeah, well, guess I'll be heading out then.
Guess I'll be dying then. I guess you could just move to Canada for a year, get fixed up, then come back and be like, hey, I brought everyone waffles.
Here's the thing. Immigration is like, so just like in America, immigration is a problem. It is hard to immigrate to a country legally and like enjoy the services that you get as a citizen. So like, For most countries, it's either like you work for a company and the company sends you there and pays for like your stuff, and then you get citizenship and you have a visa and everything through them, or you have to be like self-employed in an industry that they want, and like you have to like pay and wait, and it's like a lot of time and a lot of effort to be able to immigrate to a country legally. So like, there is no just because, of course, if you live near the border of Canada, you can drive up to Canada and probably purchase some over-the-counter drugs and then come back down. That's a relatively large business, if I'm not mistaken. But like, good luck going up there for a treatment for a year and then coming back. I don't think they'll let it happen.
Here's what you do: you dress like a Yeti, and you go. Of course, they're gonna let you in. Yetis make up some of the population.
That's
you're just
10%.
like, hey, you're like, hey, I was on vacation in America. I'm coming back to work in the Yeti mines. You know what that's all about?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm coming back here to work in the Yeti mines, and I'm gonna join the local hockey team. And I'm gonna the next round of poutines on me.
Hey!
And then they pat you on the back and wave you in.
Anyway, I'm also very sick. Please take me to the hospital.
I contracted America disease.
I got bonitis while I was in America. It's from the drinking water.
Oh my god, that's funny. I mean, right now you look very Canadian, so I think you'd fit in.
I'm saying I'm the perfect Canadian citizen.
Yeah, you have a big bushy beard.
I have a beard.
You're pale as snow.
I'm white. It's like that's basically it.
You meet all the requirements.
Mm-hmm.
I for one would not be welcome, but like I can't pass. Like everyone automatically would know. Be like, hey, he's not Canadian.
Yeah, we don't have brown people up here.
Sorry, I was out in the sun too long.
Yeah, I was instead of being in the Yeti mines, I was working in the maple syrup trees. So I was outside all the time, just sucking the maple syrup out of the trees with a straw.
Yeah, I made so much syrup one year, I decided to fill up my jacuzzi and just lounge in it, and it permanently turned my skin a maple syrupy brown.
And I look delicious, by the way.
I taste delicious too, as I'm told, but that's neither here nor there.
Or so I'm told. I wouldn't know.
I've never.
Why would I know that?
How would I know? Look, just believe me. I'm Canadian through and through. The maple leaf runs strong, and as I pull my shirt off, I got the maple leaf on my chest.
Hell yeah. Maybe that's all it takes is like showing up to the border and just having enough bravado to be like, of course I'm a citizen. Why would I have the maple leaf tattoo on me if I weren't a citizen? And they're like, I mean, he's got a point.
No one would question. They're like, why would an American get a Canadian tattoo? I don't know what accent that is.
Yeah, I was.
That's
yeah,
Irish.
It's
like Irish.
Or...
It's fucking. Why?
Oh, Maddie, why would he get a Canadian tattoo?
Listen here, lad. Why would you get a Canadian tattoo if you lived in America? You wouldn't do it. Let him in.
You wouldn't do it.
Kiss the Blarney Stone. Come on in. It's just like I was like, is that guy Canadian? It's just
yeah.
Good old Laughlin O'Doherty.
What a name.
I don't know like a lot of Scottish like names, but that sounds Scottish to me. But that's me just generalizing.
Owen is a good like I think Scottish or Irish name, but you have to spell it Eoin.
Ooh, ew. Owen
right?
O'Doherty. I feel like and like
it's an Irish name. Okay. The Scottish Gaelic equivalent is spelled the same way, but the O has a little dot over it.
It's pronounced
the O has an eyebrow.
You got to get that Gaelic that you know. All right, enough about accents because Irish is the only accent I know.
Yeah, I just figured, because we were thinking about moving, that's like the one thing is Texas climate it's so brutal in the summer, and usually mild in the winter, but the main feature is that we have air conditioning, and there are so many places that just do not have it. The further north you travel, it's just very common to have like a central heating system, but you just don't have air conditioning.
What? Yeah, why would you? It's just snow all the time and just cold. Just
Here's
open a window.
Like, I lived in Oregon for 3 months, and I will tell you, like, they keep saying, like, oh, no, you don't need it. It's not hot here. And they are lying. Like, for the summer that I was there, I purchased a portable air conditioning unit because I couldn't do it. I was too used to having the inside at, like, 72 degrees. And I would just go to sleep with my air conditioner on in my one room, and the rest of the house was hot. But like, I would come home, I lived across the street from where I was working. And so I would come home, open my door, and just like 90-degree heat is blasting me because it's 90 degrees outside and my apartment has no air conditioning and it has very tall ceilings. So the heat just gets trapped in there. So what I would do is I would come home after work, and I would open my big sliding glass door, and then I would walk back to work and just hang out there for like an hour or so, and then I would go back home and eat dinner, just to like let the place air out and get cool. And I was like, "This is anybody who tells you no, it's fine. You don't need air conditioning. It's fine." Like, no, I'm too much of a weenie. I can't do it.
Don't come to Texas and let people tell you that because it's sweltering here.
No, and the thing is, if you go to a place in Texas that has no air conditioning, it's notable. You're like, oh, wow, this is either like an old building or like it's somewhere where like air conditioning wasn't installed because of like budget constraints or like for whatever reason. We had the school that we both went to for elementary school was an open like outdoor air elementary school. But still, every classroom had air conditioning. And the worst part about that is just like you go to first day of school, you go to school in August and it's just sweltering. And we're in South Texas, so it's humid outside. And so like you go outside to like go to the lunchroom and you start sweating. Like it's crazy.
That's why like I think part of the like school uniforms down here is they allowed you to wear shorts. Was because like they're like they can't just wear pants all the time; they'll just melt.
Yeah, they'll die. We'll actually have kids dying on our hands. We can't do it.
We can't do that again.
Again,
not again. Yeah, not again.
Never again. Yeah, we like in South Texas, you have to have air conditioning basically, or you have to know about fans, and I mean that in like the most sincere way. Like you have to know how to direct air from the outside to the inside to pull the most heat out of your house.
Yeah, and the best thing to do is like have a fan like real close to the window. Have like a box fan in the window, or have a fan that's like circulating the air that will circulate throughout the room, and then back outside. So like my mom, for instance, we in my mom's house, we've never had central air, but she's always kept the doors open and the windows open, and there's like a fan just circulating air. Several fans. We had like several fans, like one in each room just to circulate the air. But even now that I live in this apartment with my roommates, they have the AC on. And yeah, I can feel it now. It's cold. But when it gets hot, I have a big fan right here that circulates air. Also with the top fan that's on the ceiling, and that's good enough. Like,
yeah,
that's
and ceiling
two
fans
different fans.
Ceiling fans do a lot. But like, so when I went to college, there were basically two dorms that were next to each other. There was the honors dorms and the engineering dorms. And for whatever reason, the engineering dorms just didn't have air conditioning. It was one of the last dorm rooms on campus that didn't have air conditioning. And this is like West Texas. So West Texas, like during the summer and like late spring is sweltering. And so they would allow you to check out one box fan per person. And the strat very quickly, as you find out, is you open up one window. And you open up basically like your window as much as it'll go. And if you could cram two box fans in it, you have one box fan on the bottom pushing air in and another box fan on the top pulling air out so that heat rises.
Yeah.
So you have the top box fan for getting the hot air out, and then you pull in more air from the bottom. And that's like the strat for keeping cool. But God, what torturous conditions for the poor engineering students.
Well, I guess they figured since y'all are engineering, y'all engineer a way to fix it.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, and the other thing is, when you think about it, engineers are a bunch of sweaty nerds that smell bad. So of course we're all going to smell bad now. And the engineering thing, like that's not helping our reputation.
Can confirm you do smell bad.
Mm-hmm. True.
Lost my train of thought, you stinky bitch. Yeah, that's the first thing you learn when you're in South Texas. Heat rises, and you learn that quick.
Yep.
Because when it's hot during the summer, it is vermoosely hot.
That's not a word. Okay. You used this word earlier, and that's not the word.
It's a word.
That's not a word at all.
I'm using it.
Okay, what does it mean? Define it for me.
It's it means to vermoose.
Okay. Can you define that word?
Can I use it in a sentence?
No, you have to define it.
It's kind of like extra, or like with. Just shut up. Just let me have this.
Because the earlier sentence that you used it in was, oh yeah, when that game comes out, I'm going to play it vermoosely. Am I using that word right? The answer is, I don't know, Fee. You just made it up.
Well, I do that a lot. And I think with the inflection that I use it in, you know how I'm using it.
I guess. But the definitions are inconsistent. In this case,
it's one of those words.
In this case, it meant very, right? But before, it meant like persistently or a lot.
Like a lot. Like in this instance, I use it like quickly, and then the other one was a lot. And that's just how the words that I make up work. They have like double to triple meanings.
So then how are you supposed to know what they mean, Fee?
I mean, with the inflection that you use them.
Oh, so this is like Chinese then?
Kind of, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, did you know that was the thing in Chinese?
I know in Chinese they have a lot of different words that some words have like double to triple meanings based on inflection or writing or just places in the sentence. Like,
yeah,
I know there's like Mandarin Chinese, and I know there's another dialect.
There's Cantonese as well.
Yeah, Cantonese. And I know some have the same words, and I know sometimes those same words mean separate things. So
yeah, so like I clearly I don't know any Chinese. And the reason why like Chinese is one of those languages where I'm like, I don't think I want to learn that is mainly because a lot of it is inflection based. And so like, depending on how you say what you're saying, the meaning changes, which is fair enough. Like that happens in English sometimes too, but like it actually changes what word you're using. And that's crazy to me.
Especially in the English I use.
Yes, exactly. In Fee's English, it's all Calvin ball, honestly.
Look, when I use words, you understand what I mean when I say it.
Is that why I had to ask what your words mean? Or
you just ask because you've never heard of it, but I know what it means deep down in my heart.
So it's like, does everybody but me know deep down in their heart what you mean?
Yes. You're the only idiot.
Okay. All right. Okay, listeners. Why don't you go ahead and leave a comment and tell me what vermoosely means?
No, don't do that. Oh, no. Mm-hmm. Oh. Shout out to my nephew who likes listening to us. I just found out it was really random. You know, my brother's son.
Oh, yeah.
I found out recently that they're like big fans of ours. And it was really random because I mentioned that we do a podcast like during Thanksgiving. And I didn't like go like long distance. I was like, yeah, we do a podcast. And he's like, what is it called? And then I told him, and now they're like big listeners. So that's very funny.
Now they made their own t-shirts.
I think that'd be like really funny. So
that would be sick.
That'd be really sick. But nobody define my words. Just tell Colby down in the comments that he's a big bitch and he doesn't have a heart because he doesn't know what words mean.
Damn! You're really getting after me.
Just right now.
What did I do to you? What did I do to you, Fee?
You said you'd be happy to move away from me. You didn't care about my feelings.
You didn't even care.
You didn't even care what I found you. What about Fee? Fee's me. Oh shit. Anyway, Colby. You wanted to chat about something?
I did. Okay, so we meant to talk about this a few episodes ago.
Yeah.
Like 2 episodes ago?
I think it was last week.
So, the new trailer for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness has come out.
It's so good. I saw it
the
on
trailer
stream
is
the other
absolutely
day.
sick. Yeah, Fee watched it on stream, which, by the way, you should go follow him on Twitch. He is Feeburg06, Feburg06.
Follow
we watched
Winbad.
it on stream, and it was awesome. Yes, he is Winbad, #1 streamer in Texas. Don't look it up.
Don't look it up.
So I'm looking at I'm looking at some rumors. I watched the trailer a few times. And things are crazy.
Okay, so right off the bat, and when this was the first teaser trailer, not the most recent one, I immediately noticed America Chavez. Like you can't. She has like an iconic look, and I don't even like her that much, but she's a cool character. She's like a Mexican alien, and which is very funny. It's very funny to me. She has a big star on like a jean jacket, and I very very briefly you see her in the first teaser, and then you got Shuma Gorath, and you also got evil Doctor Strange from Marvel What If. You got Professor Xavier.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. In the trailer, you can hear Patrick Stewart's voice, and somebody asked him, was like, hey, that was your voice in that trailer, wasn't it? And he said, and I quote, people can do really good impressions of me, so I don't know what you're talking about. And after the Spider-Man movie, everybody's like, you're so full of shit. You're so full of shit.
They're like, that's you. What other bald actor sounds like you?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's Professor X. It's Professor X, and he's somehow in the multiverse.
Yep.
So we got America Chavez, Doctor Strange, evil Doctor Strange, Shuma Gorath, Professor X, presumably Wolverine. I heard rumor that he was going to be in this movie, but I'm unsure. That could just be an unchecked rumor.
Yep. I mean, that's like the thing is, because this movie is
multiverse,
is very much, about multiverse, right? You could name anything, and you could be like, yeah, probably.
I think from the Loki. Sorry, I cut you off. I think from the, you saw Loki, the show, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think Kang the Conqueror is going to be in this.
I think we'll probably see him, yeah, for sure.
Because
I think it's very likely. And I'm looking at a list of some things here. Yeah, just some things.
Just some stuff.
So obviously, if you don't want to hear some speculation
Spoilers.
here, fast forward by 5 minutes. I don't know, whatever.
Just don't fast forward. Just listen. God.
Yeah, don't fast forward. No, don't listen to me. So number one, this movie is directed by Sam Raimi, which we all know and love him from the first 3 Spider-Man movies.
He's a big comic book fan.
Yeah, he's a big fan, which
Classic.
is like obviously like he's gonna treat the source material well.
Yeah.
But
Big
the cooler thing for me is that he's also a horror movie director, and if you watch this trailer, it is very apparent because it is deeply spooky.
Yeah, dude, a giant Shuma Gorath, dude. That's almost like Starro from fucking Suicide Squad. He's not Starro. He's a multi-dimensional, like, psychic monster, which is very awesome. Like, I want them to delve more into like the Dr. Strange's like deep enemies, like fucking fuck, I can't. I think Brother Voodoo's gonna be in it, but I'm not sure.
So I'm looking at a list of, according to marvel-movies.fandom.com/wikis/Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness rumors. Very good website that I go to every day. There's a bunch of things on here that are like sort of confirmed. Confirmed in quotes, right? So we've got like
just from what we've
got let's see, Christine Palmer, the character, America Chavez, like you said, Loki.
Of course.
But not just Tom Hiddleston Loki, but also the other Loki.
Oh, the girl.
It's been so long since I've seen it. Was her name Evie? Ev?
No, it was like Loki and Lakeisha. I don't remember.
Hell yeah.
Damn it!
So
what's her stupid name? It's gonna piss me off.
What's her big dumb name?
It shows how much a fan I am.
And again, confirmed is like
in quotes,
stretching it.
Yeah,
like it's very much in quotes. Patrick Stewart, right?
Yeah.
Vision in particular, probably White Vision.
Yeah.
Haley Atwell coming back as Captain Carter.
Okay, cool.
The 2 kids, Billy and Tommy Maximoff from WandaVision.
Yeah.
Tobey Maguire.
Yeah. Oh, Agatha Harkness, maybe? I heard she was getting her own spinoff, so maybe?
Yeah, she's supposed to get a spinoff, so I'm wondering. But currently, she's in prison. Um,
Yeah, isn't she,
but
like, mind-fucked still?
I think so. But she's under the list of like maybe.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm looking at just James McAvoy maybe as Professor X. So
Oh,
like
cool.
you
So,
marry the sort of like the two
yeah.
timelines
So we're
of
gonna see
X-Men.
X-Men First Class and X-Men Classic.
Mm-hmm.
I
Ian
hope that
McKellen as Magneto, maybe.
yeah. I hope because I keep hearing they're gonna bring the X-Men into the MCU, and I hope that this is like what sparks the X-Men to come into the MCU. Because I'd love to see X-Men, like their take on the or the MCU's take on the X-Men.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, especially because like don't get me wrong,
there's so much
the
you can
X-Men.
do with them.
Yes, exactly, and they this happened 2 times in a row, right? Where the X-Men had 2 trilogies, right? The classic one and then the first class, right?
Yeah.
And the first one of both of those trilogies, very good. The second
Yes.
one, okay. Third one, pretty bad, actually. So, like, it gets, like, both of those had this declining quality aspect, which is unfortunate. And
I feel like
Marvel has been better about that.
I feel like that's the studio, like Sony's issue. Like, they
Yeah,
step
totally.
in, especially with, like, Sam Raimi. Like, they stepped in, they're like, we want to see this, and we want to see these people, and we want to see this storyline. And like, the directors they can't do anything. They're like, okay, well, I'm under contract, so I have to do it.
Yeah, which I think if I'm not mistaken was the problem with Spider-Man 3 is basically they didn't know like I think he wanted to have just Sandman as the villain.
He wanted the Vulture, but he didn't the studio didn't think that anyone would like thought the Vulture was like big bad material, and they didn't think that the younger generation would get it as much.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, hey, well, you know what's out? Venom. And
yeah,
he's
exactly.
Like, they were like, he's topping the charts right now. So why don't you put Venom in there? Because he's like a big hit right now.
Mm-hmm.
So Sam Raimi's like, yeah, I don't know much about Venom, so I don't want to. And they're like, yeah, you're going to. And he was like, oh.
Yeah, but you're gonna.
So he was like, okay, yeah. He was like, okay.
I guess.
Hey, have you seen No Way Home yet?
No, I haven't. I it has to come on streaming before I go see it. So I'm sort of
it's
out of luck.
It's so good. I'm sure you could pirate it. I mean, not that I condone that, but
yeah, fair enough.
dude, fucking Willem Dafoe is so good. He is so good in that movie. Like,
yeah,
you thought he was creepy in the first Spider-Man. He is so menacing in this new one. He's just the best.
From what I hear, he like he was like, I really want to get physical with it too. Like I want to physically be there and do the acting because it doesn't make any sense to like just do a voiceover. It's stupid.
Yeah, dude, no, he goes fucking full at it. He kicked Spider-Man shit in. I'm not trying to give like anything away, but god damn, the fight scenes that he's in are so good. Like, if I went back to watch the original Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire, fights, and they're good. Don't get me wrong, they're good. They stand up to snuff. But boy, they're so much better. Like, just seeing those characters in their OG costumes fighting Tom Holland and all the other people, it's like gritty, dude. It's so good.
Man, I really want to see. I want to see it so bad.
Yeah.
And that's actually one of the other reasons why, like, I'm excited about this, like, the multiverse of madness, right? Because, like, obviously we had thoughts about what No Way Home was going to be before it came out. And a lot of those thoughts were like confirmed, and but a lot of it was like wishful thinking. It's like, oh man, do I dare think that like they're gonna get back, Tobey Maguire? Are they, would they get back Andrew Garfield? Like they have to, right?
Yeah.
And they if they didn't, I would have been like, oh, okay. I mean, they probably tried, but they must not have been able to. That sucks.
The thing is, like, they're not just a small cameo, and once they come into like universe, they're there until the end. They're characters. Mm-hmm. So like, it's not just a, hey, we paid them to come say hi and leave. It's no, they're in the movie.
Yeah, a Dr. Strange portal opens up, and it's like, it's Tobey Maguire with a Zoom background and like a Kmart ass like Spider-Man mask, and he just waves and goes, "Hey!" and then it closes again.
Hey, I'm the Spider-Man from
this. We did it, everyone.
I'm the Spider-Man from this universe. Later, fucking.
Oh, wasn't that neat? Bye. But yeah, so like that opens up the possibility for Multiverse of Madness to be like a crazy cameo spectacle, and not even just like. So you can think of like any Marvel comic book, anything, and it's open to that too, right? It wouldn't surprise me if, specifically, what a lot of people are thinking is Deadpool as well, right?
Yeah. Okay, so I'm glad you brought that up, because like on like one of the posters, you know how like Dr. Strange is like in the middle, and there's like all these like raindrops around him, like water.
Yeah.
So someone like zoomed in on one of them, and this could be photoshopped, I'm not saying, but there's like a very like glimpse of Deadpool in one of the one of the water drops.
Yeah.
So, like, it's hidden like there. But that's wishful thinking, and Ryan Reynolds gone on record saying that he wants to be in the MCU. So like I said, someone could have just shopped it in, but man, wouldn't that be cool? Like, if they're gonna be going to the multiverse and they can pull from their catalog of movies, just Ryan Reynolds Deadpool, X-Men First Class, X-Men Original, revisit the Spider-Man, Nick Cage, Ghost Rider, Wesley Snipes Blade, just some of their old stuff.
Oh boy, Wesley Snipes Blade would be wild.
Yeah, dude. Fucking the Netflix people, Luke Cage, Punisher. We already got introduced to Daredevil in No Way Home. He was in there.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the other thing is like, a thing that people often forget about is that Marvel has had TV shows in a couple of different places, not just Disney Plus, right?
Yeah.
Because like Disney Plus is where like the real MCU, I real in quotes, MCU TV shows started. But like there's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., there's Daredevil, Iron Fist, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones. So there's like, the whole Netflix crew, right?
Yeah.
And then of course there's even like, if we want to go back even further, there's like animated stuff too. Like,
yeah, well,
they're reviving X-Men 93, right?
Yeah,
so like,
yeah.
I don't know. Do you think they'll put in some animated characters in this? I don't fucking know. Maybe.
Wouldn't that be cool? It's going back onto X-Men, the animated show, the X-Men 93. They are getting the original voice actors back for it, so that's cool. I just don't know what they're gonna like. They're like, oh, we're picking up right from the end of that show, and we're just going to continue. I'm like, oh man, well, what are you going to do?
Yeah. What does anybody even remember? Oh God,
a lot of people do.
So like, I want to keep talking about Multiverse of Madness, and I'm like, there's so much more to say, but I am going to briefly pivot to X-Men 93. I am positive that like whenever the new thing comes out, I'm very worried about it, because the people that enjoy it the most are going to be people our age, right? That like grew up with it, and that like watched it on Saturday mornings and like kind of vaguely remember the plot and are like, oh, this is great. This is cool. I'm glad that we're like seeing these characters again. And they're probably going to have, jokes that we get or that like reference cell phones or whatever.
Well, that brings me to another thing. Is it going to take place in that time? Are they going to jump the technology and time up with the new iteration, or are they going to keep it in the 90s?
Yeah, good question.
Because
that's one of the major things is like, are we going to stay like at that time? Is it going to be like almost because like it was for a long time, especially Stranger Things is what kicked this off. Everybody was very nostalgic about the 80s, and it feels like we're starting to get to the point where people are getting super nostalgic about the 90s. And so this could be one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, we're going to keep it 90s. Remember, this is what Coke looked like.
The thing is, that show, yeah, it was very 90s, but just because of like the writing and everything. But the setting could be updated and it wouldn't matter because, like, they had a bunch of future tech in that show. They had giant robots. They had, like, all this... X-Men has, like, this weird tech in universe and they've been to space and stuff. That, I mean, it makes sense that, like, that in universe they're just like, oh, well, we got smartphones now, or it's just a two-way communicator.
One of the most 90s things about the show was Rogue's hair. So, I mean,
dude,
as long as that makes a reappearance, it's still classic.
No, I mean, yeah, that was like very 90s. Her fucking blown out beehive hair, and that was great. But I think the most 90s is Jubilee. With her with her fucking dishwasher
big
gloves,
yellow coat, and and big pink glasses.
Yeah, her fucking 90s pink glasses, her dishwasher gloves, her April O'Neil jacket, just
Hell
like
yeah.
it's just of course they're gonna keep it the same. They're probably gonna update it from being hand drawn to digital, which will make it look it'll make it look a lot brighter. But
yeah, it'll and the animation, like the frames per second, maybe higher. Like you see that a lot actually in anime these days, where they're starting to like pick out specific scenes and letting those scenes be CGI because they're like it's easier to animate that way. They're like, listen, we'll pay for a 3D rig of these characters to be able to like do this intricate movement that it would be very difficult for us to draw. And you can see that in like Attack on Titan. You can see that in Baki the Grappler. There's a bunch of shows where now like 3D is kind of the thing that you do. And in fact, like some of them are completely done in 3D, like the new Berserk. But I'm wondering if like, because Western shows have been a little hesitant to adopt that. Because usually if it's CGI, you know that it's CGI. But what anime likes to do is they'll have like the characters still have like the outlines. So it kind of looks like it's like, it has the art style, but you can tell visually that's a 3D model, but it's supposed to like fit in with that kind of art style. So if they keep the art style from 93, but they like, you know, do digital, and then want to take it up even another level and like do CGI, that's another thing that we get to look forward to is like, is it going to be good? Is it going to be weird and cringe?
I think in anime, it's more acceptable to see some CGI scenes, come through, you know, because, you know, they move like a lot faster than Western cartoons, especially in fight scenes.
Yeah.
Whereas in Western cartoons, they're like a little bit more slow and methodical.
Yeah, totally.
And what I'm thinking is, are they going to keep the show like a PG? Because like Wolverine had claws, and he stabs people, and people got like smashed up, and of course people died, but like they didn't show any blood. They didn't show people get like stabbed or anything.
Yeah, not a lot of gore.
Are they gonna show like some blood, or like is Wolverine gonna stab someone? Like
Wolverine gonna say fuck?
I don't care if he says fuck.
Fuck, bub.
If he's just like, shit, bub, you want to come over here and wrangle with the Wolverine? Fucking bring it on,
come
bitch.
Get this wolf dick.
I was gonna say that. I was like, you want to come wrangle with my fucking dick? Come on. Fucking no. I think they're gonna make it like PG-13, but I still want to see blood. I don't need Wolverine to be like, hey Gene, come and swallow my balls. Fucking Just fucking, which, we had really good memes from that show too. Like the Wolverine laying on bed, fucking putting his hand over the picture frame.
Yeah. Yes.
Just in full costume, laying on a bed, like holding the picture frame, and then
I'm just looking sad.
or you have that. You could probably find the GIF of Cyclops talking to Jean Grey outside of the X-Jet, and you see Wolverine running from the back, fucking punches him in the stomach, and then punches him in the knocks him out. I don't know if you've seen that GIF.
No, I haven't.
Oh my god! I'm gonna see if I send it to you.
Yeah, do that. So so to tie this back into Multiverse of Madness, the one thing that I really want to see brought from the cartoons.
I sent it to you.
Oh, good. Let me see. Oh, that's good. That is very good. It has to do with this actually.
Okay.
Cyclops in the show and in the comics is a very capable leader. He's like the Leonardo of the X-Men, but he is such a little shithead in all of the movies. Why does he suck so bad in the movies?
I don't think they know how to write him. That's the thing. I don't think they knew how to write him. When they were making the movies, they knew that people wanted to see Wolverine. When the X-Men first came out, what did you want to see the most? Who is your most known character? Let's say.
I mean, obviously Wolverine.
Yeah, of course. So who is the main focus? Wolverine. You wanted to see him fucking bring out the claws. You wanted to see him just tear into people. You wanted to see Magneto just lift some shit with his fucking magnetism. You wanted to see that. Anyone could do a laser beam from their face. I'm not saying Cyclops is not good, because he's very strong even without his optic blast. He's a strong fighter, hand-to-hand combat.
Well, and in the movie they did give him a couple of scenes where they took off the little button thing, right? And his eyes just fucking exploded. Very cool. But most of the time he's oh, I don't know about this, guys. Maybe we shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah, they made him very standoffish. They're oh, well, we shouldn't do this. We shouldn't. Oh, we gotta
Chucky Finster.
He's very what's it called? Cyclops is very what's it called? He's strategic, and he knows when he leads people, he knows how to lead them. And they didn't show that, which was a bummer. One of my brother's favorite characters, not Wolverine. We both loved Wolverine, but my brother loved Cyclops, and they just didn't do him justice. But my brother really loved it because he liked seeing the X-Men come to, on the big screen live. And when you're a kid or anybody, and you've been reading a medium for a long time, say comics, or you see the cartoons, you want to see it translated into
totally
live, and you want to see it done good. So when you see it and you see the things that you've been wanting, and it looks really good, you're just in awe. You're oh, dude. Except for Sabretooth, he was fucking weak in that movie.
Yes, he was weak in every movie. I think the only movie in which Sabretooth was kind of cool was Wolverine.
The Wolverine, yeah, when he was what's his name, Liebschreiber, fucking where he was he didn't look like Sabretooth. He looked like a good looking bitch, just with pointy claws, and then every once in a while he had fangs. I'm used to Sabretooth being kind of a big imposing guy with blonde hair, not a good looking schmuck.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, no. I thought that movie was okay. I didn't think it was the best X-Men Wolverine, but the original X-Men is so iconic and good. It's they didn't get anything wrong. Of course, there's some bad things about it, but it's outweighed by the good. And part two, in my opinion, is like it built on that so much, and it's way good. Like I know a lot of people say that it's good, like it better than part one and the best of the trilogy. I'd agree with that. I also don't agree with 3 being a bad movie. I think it's fun. I like part 3.
Man. Yeah, I can't I can't agree with, because that third movie is so bad. Like at one point, did you notice that at one point at the end of the movie, it was daytime, they were fighting in the daytime, and then it switched scenes and it was nighttime suddenly, and there was no, like, they didn't convey that time had passed. It honestly just looked like an editing mistake.
It was at the fight at the laboratory, right?
Yeah. At the bridge, at the
on the bridge at the laboratory.
Yep.
I noticed that. It didn't take me out of the movie. I love fucking Fraser being Beast. Like, I love that costume. I thought he was better at the Beast than that other dude from First Class.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I thought he made a pretty good Beast too. I just thought like the plot was kind of convoluted and trash. And
it was a very just washed out plot. Like they didn't know where they were going with it. They wanted to do the Phoenix the Phoenix plot, but something happened in the writers' room, and probably the studio was like, you got to do this, and they were like not going in that direction, and then they had to just wing it in.
I feel like it has to, like it all of these movies have one thing in common, and it's that Sony can't make a trilogy worth of shit, right? Like, they give like one movie a really good chance. Like, you know, Spider-Man comes on the scene, amazing, very good. Spider-Man 2, less good, still very good. But like, you know, like probably most iconic performance of like a Spider-Man villain, but still like had like kind of less, and it was like a little more commercially. It felt like a little more soulless than Spider-Man 1. Spider-Man 3 was garbage, and that's what happens with Sony movies. By the time you get to the third one, it feels like Sony's like, well,
and that's
we know how to make an X-Men movie. You gotta put in this guy. You gotta put in this other guy. And you can't just make it all about Phoenix. That's stupid.
But that's only because, like when they first start like a thing like Spider-Man, you haven't like seen a Spider-Man movie, and like they were hesitant, and then it like blew up. It got big, so then they were like, okay, well now, when the next one comes out, we could do these big promotions. We could do all these commercials, video game tie-ins, toys, and then we can get bigger name actors to be in the movie, and we get more writers. But I think where they fail is the more like writers and studio execs that they bring in, it muddies the water.
Yep.
So like, part 2 was really good, and then like when part 3 comes around, they're still riding that high, baby. They're just like, we gotta outdo it. We gotta bring more bad guys. We gotta make the time longer. And Spider-Man 3, despite what you say, it being garbage, I like the movie, but not because it's good, but because of how bad it is.
Yes, precisely. Yeah, it's a great make fun watch for sure.
Yeah, no, it is for sure. And there's so many like iconic lines in that movie and iconic memes and stuff. Like, it's so great. But also, you have to give them a little bit of oomph, because they came up with a whole new 3D way to render like the sand. Like they for Sandman, like they came up with this whole new what's it called, way to CGI it and make it look good.
Yeah, totally.
So
listen, I was talking to my boss today, actually, and she is friends with a guy who is like, he used to be a software engineer, but now he like produces video games. Like he's like the lead engineer on a bunch of video games, right?
Nice.
And she was talking to him about that, and we all agreed, like, she was like, he told me this, and I was like, this is absolutely true. She was like, whenever a video game succeeds, everybody talks about how great the visuals are, how good and engaging the story is. No one really talks about how smooth it runs or how good the performance is.
Yeah.
It's always, and the first thing that you like trash on about a video game is like, oh wow, well, what a bunch of frames stuttering and these controls are jank and like, wow, what a cool glitch. Fucking stupid ass engineers don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And it feels like it's probably the same for movies where like the technical artists that are behind the scenes doing the CGI, you're like, wow, okay, well, CGI Luke Skywalker looked like dog shit. And it's like, okay, well, you didn't see any of the other really cool CGI things that I did in this movie because they made them very seamless and they're very good. But like, why do you... Come on, man, we did our best.
That's the thing. And like, that's why whenever I trash on a movie... I don't trash the people who make who work behind the scenes because they're trying their best with what they're given. Like, it's not their fault. Like, they're told, hey, do this or get fucked. So it's not their fault. Like, you can't be like, oh, the CGI was bad, they did bad, they're bad people. Why would they? I've read online of people like, I'd feel embarrassed if my name was attached to this. I'm like, really? I'm like, they got paid a shitload probably. Or not a shitload. They got paid a decent amount of money to make this shitty movie try to look good. I mean, it's not their fault.
Yeah, you can't go down the list of like, oh, here's the people that like were technical animators on this, and you go, aha, it was all Jared Brownstone's fault. Jared Brownstone, you piece of shit, you ruined Shrek 4 for me.
And it's not like they have a say so in like in the script or like the storyboarding. They're given a scene.
I was told to make Shrek fart. What do you want?
I'm sorry I didn't make his butthole flap enough.
What did you need?
Like, I like, to those people, I'm like, well, why don't you do it? Like, why don't you just like learn how to CGI and digital art and do it yourself? Like, it's not. I mean, it's just not.
It's so easy. So there's a sort of give and take here, because I understand especially whenever people are criticizing video games. I had a friend that was like, gamers are the worst because they criticize video games and they suggest like how to fix it and they don't know what the hell they're talking about.
Yeah.
And listen, for the most part, yes, but that doesn't take away from the criticism. I can like play a game, I can watch a movie, I can listen to a song and be like, I didn't like this part of it because of these reasons. And it feels to me like it should be a relatively easy fix to do this or to like add in this functionality. Same thing with like, imagine, Pokemon, whenever like you had your Pokemon vault.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh yeah, you can't access your Pokemon in your Pokemon vault anymore. It's like only the old games can do it. Sword and Shield isn't going to do it. Fucking Arceus isn't going to do it. You can't access them.
Yeah.
And it's like, why? Dog, why? Like, you're storing bits on a server, and how much money are you paying for that? Like, I get that it's money, but like,
how hard is it
that much money?
How hard is it to program it into the game? Also, most of the people who play those games are connected online, so like, what's the deal? Did you not?
And like, I get it. It's like it's another feature that you got to have, right? It's like more code that you have to have, and it's more like it's more support that you have to do. You add 200 Pokemon, and then you decide, okay, well, all these Pokemon have to go inside of the Pokemon home.
Yeah,
and that's what maximum. That's maximum of another, I don't know, kilobyte of data of Pokemon, and then you have however many people catch, I guess.
Yeah,
and it's like, I don't know, you could probably just have a limit on how many Pokemon people have, and then be like, listen, you can only have 500 Pokemon. It doesn't matter what Pokemon they are. You can store anything. You can access it anywhere. Just shut up.
This is Game Freak's problem, because there's over 800 Pokemon, and like, whenever they come up with a new one, people are just like, well, well, how many can I have in this game, and which ones are going to be in this game, and which ones aren't. Especially with some of the Pokemon that are out right now that are so uninspired.
Yeah.
Just like we didn't need a fucking fish shaped like a heart. And we didn't need two different fish that look the same but are kind of different in the Pokédex. Like, we didn't need some of these things.
Yeah, we've got like 2 butterflies that look very, very similar.
Yeah, like some, especially the starter bugs, fucking Caterpie, Weedle, the other fucking bug ones. They look alike. The Metapods, just
yeah. I mean, like.
How many bird Pokemon do we need? And they all do the same.
You want to add, like, new Pokemon that have, like, new types and new moves. And, like, so you run out of goddamn ideas. That's how you get things like Vanillite and Garbodor, right? Like, that's how you get, like, oh, this is the garbage bag Pokemon and this is the ice cream Pokemon. Like,
I like those 2 Pokemon.
Yeah, I bet you do. Again, different strokes for different folks, right? Like, so people are going to be like, I wish we had more bug Pokemon that looked like a little worm. I like little worms. And there are going to be people like me that are like, wow, I really didn't need to fight with a fucking vanilla ice cream cone. Get it out of here.
His evolution line is like single scoop and like double scoop.
Hell yeah.
And Garbodor is like garbage bag and then torn garbage bag with arms.
But like, I played Pokemon Arceus for a little while, and I kind of want to get back to it. It was kind of fun.
Yeah.
But like, the most interesting thing about that game was like hitting Pokemon with like Pokeballs. Like catching Pokemon is actually like really fun in that game, and it's really interesting to see how goddamn big some of them are. Like Snorlax is huge.
Yeah.
Gyarados huge. But also there's like this Parasect huge. I didn't think a Parasect would be huge. Goddamn, it is though.
Yeah, these are like very like old school Pokemon where their size wasn't regulated. Mm-hmm. So then you got these big Garbodors and Goomies, and you want them to sit on your face, and then you want to like explore the area.
What the
what?
fuck are you talking about?
I'm talking about big Pokemon and exploring the area.
Okay. My dog decided to start barking.
He didn't like that. I wanted the big mommy milkers, the big Pokemon milkers, and butt on my face.
Man,
he didn't like that I wanted to be cradled in Machoke's arms.
Gross. Gross. Why?
Because I like big muscles. What do you have against muscles, huh? Just because you don't got any?
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah, me neither.
So listen, I'm just saying that, like, so I can have that kind of, and Pokemon Arceus has, you really threw me off.
Yeah,
Pokemon
I know.
Arceus has two issues that I've identified, and then I'm like, I'm pretty sure, like, you've got to be able to fix that, right?
Yeah.
One of them is that there's a character early on. There's actually a lot of characters early on where, like, in a cutscene, they get really close to the camera, and the texture on their clothes isn't meant to be viewed up close. Like, it looks like dog shit up close. Like, it looks super blurry, and it looks like you took like a low resolution JPEG and blew it up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I know you could do better than that. I know.
Yeah.
I know, because you've done better than that.
All you work on is Pokemon games.
And there's that, and there's also, like, it's a big open area. You got to keep track of a lot of things, and you got to, like, optimize your performance as much as possible. But there are some things where it's like, maybe if a Pokemon is on screen, even if it's real small, maybe it moves at more than like 5 frames a second. Maybe it does.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That, yeah. And
it's just like,
I think
they're far away, so it's not super recognizable, but there definitely is one where, like, I was in a cutscene and there's this Abra floating in the back. I swear to you, five frames a second animation for that. I'm like, I'm in a cutscene. You don't even have to load everything around me. What are you doing?
it's because they don't have like traditional cutscenes. Everything's still like in engine. But
yeah,
I think what they wanted for Arceus, they put more effort into being like really fun and all the things you can do, over like graphics, because the draw distance is pretty far. So they're just like, well, we could put Pokemon in the distance, and of course, it looks like a JPEG GIF like from 2001 in the back. It just they don't care. Because it's fun. It's fun when it's in motion and you're playing. So
yeah, totally. I mean, the thing is, Pokemon Arceus is like a pretty fun game. It's just like a couple of those like technical things where I'm like, God, guys, like
it just takes
really
you out.
It does feel like if you just spent 3 more months like ironing some things out, you would have nailed it. But
I think they were just trying to meet a deadline.
Yeah, I'm positive they were trying to meet a deadline. That's like what all video games are. Is like, you got to make this deadline because we're spending too much money on making this game.
I think it's that they wanted to get the what is it called? When did it come out? December, right? They wanted to get the holiday market, or did it come out in January?
I think it came out in January.
I think they were trying to like not have it further, like not have it go further into 2022. They wanted people to have it.
Yeah, it came out January 28th, 2022.
Yeah, not that long ago.
And I mean, don't get me wrong, you know, it feels like the thing here and always is like, well, you could just like release the game and then update it, almost like Cyberpunk.
Oh yeah, they just got it to where they wanted it actually.
Yeah, and it's even like it's at a place where it's not embarrassing. Not really embarrassing, but that's still embarrassing.
That's the thing, and don't get me wrong, I liked Cyberpunk. I played it.
Oh, same.
But now that they're like, now it's like less glitchy and it's the way we want it, I'm not gonna go back and play that game. It's like 80 hours.
Yeah, you're like, do I really want to go back? Because like they also said, oh, we're giving you some like more romantic interactions, and it's like
I don't care. Pan Am, baby.
Do I want to go back and slog through like 30 hours of like, go kill this man in this building, choom? Do I want to do that to get like a couple extra text messages from Judy? No.
Dude, I found a glitch in the game that it was an infinite money glitch, an infinite like cloning weapon glitch to where I could sell stuff. I'm not gonna play the game regular again. Like.
Yeah, honestly, why would you?
Yeah,
at that point, it's like,
I'm not gonna.
The best weapons just walk up and bonk people and they're dead.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna do that. I don't know if you remember me playing while I was streaming, having the worst time fighting like that big buff girl in the octagon and like fighting that dude with a dildo. Like, I wonder if they fixed those patches where if you're like in those fist fights, you could throw down a weapon. And then as soon as it starts, pick it up and then fight them with it.
Pick it up and beat ass, yeah.
Like, I just don't want to play it again. I just don't want to. Unless they come out with this big DLC that you could just use your character and play through it. Or if is there...
Or they update the ending. They give you like other endings. Or they're like, oh, it looks better now. Because I will tell you... I watched the ending cutscene and was like, I don't remember making my V this ugly. Which, to be fair, when I made V in the character creator, I was like, oh, yeah, my V is really pretty. I did a good job with my V. And then the game started and I went, why did V get ugly? And then V in the final cutscene somehow got uglier. And I was like, how is this happening?
I like the way I made my character. I made him look really good. But the thing is, like, during the game, there's no other way to, like, change your features of your character. Once you do it at the beginning, that's it, baby. You're set. So you better make sure you give him a huge magnum dong.
It's like a Cyberpunk game. You should be able to change your appearance hourly if you want to.
Wasn't that like advertised? Or like, you could change like the features in your body and do whatever. But there's just 3 things you could do to your arms.
Yeah.
You can make the blades, the gorilla arms, or the whips.
The wire,
and
yeah.
why would you want any of that when the gorilla arms beats the shit out of people and doubles at prying doors open? And
totally.
with the jump, why would you want anything other than the double jump? Like, there's no point. And I remember there was an add-on I got early on that was like a tattoo. I never changed it because nothing was better than that.
Yeah.
It's just that game. It's a good game. The gunplay is good, and the action, like the moment-to-moment gameplay, is pretty good when you're on a mission. But when you're just roaming around, the city is fucking huge, and it's just there's not a lot to do, and there's not a lot happening. It's just you either are in it doing the missions, or going to the gangsters, or investigating a hideout, or you're doing nothing in this big barren city.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, because so the other thing in the patch notes that they added was in quests now items are going to be more scarce.
Oh, that's terrible.
And well, the idea there is that you won't get the best gear like 5 hours in and then spend the rest of the games like not looting and not looking for stuff and not like actually enjoying an area and like trying to get new things, right? You always think like, oh, well, if I do this new job, then I can go get like a better item, or I can go find a new thing or whatever. But like very quickly in Cyberpunk, probably 10 hours in or so, you get to the point where you're like, no, I have my build. Like I got a super good electric baton and was like, oh, well, that's it. I'll just hit people with this electric baton.
Yeah. I had a dildo that I maxed out. That was like my best blunt weapon. But I went down the crafting line, and if you just go down the crafting line, you could easily craft the best weapons in the game. So any items I got from like missions, I just fucking threw them away or turned them into materials because I didn't need them anymore. And that also goes back to the item cloning. When I cloned when I had good materials, I just cloned them, and I like literally I would just spend an hour cloning stuff I needed to where I was just OP.
Yeah.
So that's why, like, I know I cheated in that aspect, but not during the game. It didn't make the game any much easier. It just made it so that I had stuff and money, so I didn't have to worry about that.
Which is nice, because and you can't really buy great weapons. Like they don't sell them.
Yeah, no.
You have to find them.
You have to find them or craft them.
The best that you could do is purchase like body upgrades. So like getting gorilla arms, getting like better health, getting like better brain, whatever. The fuck. So like you can buy those things, but like getting weapons, like my electric baton, I found. Yeah, it's like, oh hell yeah, I'm gonna hit people with this electric baton. It's gonna be great.
The thing I used the money for the most was buying cars, and like I made it my mission to buy every single car that was available and do the car missions. Even though I never used them, I only used the motorcycle, the one motorcycle.
Man, I only used the first car, like V's car, at the beginning of the game. That's the only car that I used.
It
was that, and then Beast. I take that back. Once I got Beast, I was like, I like pickup trucks. I'm gonna drive a pickup truck.
Yeah, you don't want to drive Delamain?
Nope. Sure didn't.
I didn't even know you could call cars until like, I don't know, like 5 or so hours into the game. I was just stealing cars, and I would always go up to gang members and steal their motorcycles because I liked those more than like what I had.
Yeah, and you're like, what are you gonna do about it?
Yeah,
nerd.
Yeah, bitch, this is mine now. But yeah, no, that's not a game that you could just. I want to start over again. It's a one and done for me. It's just I'm not gonna play it again.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I feel with like a lot of these newer AAA games. Like I'm playing through Mass Effect right now. I'm gonna beat them. I'm not gonna play them again. Like ever. Like it takes a lot for a game to get me to play it again.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. For the most part, like I think I'm replaying Final Fantasy VII off and on. I've replayed Final Fantasy VI a bunch, but for the most part, after I beat a game, that's kind of it.
Yeah.
I got it. I experienced the story, which is like the most important thing to me, and then I don't really need to do it anymore.
Just every couple of years, like right now I'm on stream. I'm playing through Conquerors, and I don't remember a lot, but like I'm playing through it. But I want to play Paper Mario again because that game's fun. Like no matter how many times, like it's not fun to play it and then beat it and then start it over again. But like every other year, just be like, I want to play this game again, or I'll play like NFL Blitz. I could play that over and over again, or NFL Street, or like some of these pick up and play games. Those are the games that you like want to play like over and over again. Not like a big 40 to 60 hour like slog game. Like once you beat it, you're just you're just like, oh man. You're like, I'm happy I beat it, but I'm not gonna play it again like ever. I got what I wanted out of it.
Man, yeah, I there's too many new games. I can't be justifying going back and playing some old games.
Well, I mean, the only new game that's coming out that I want, other than Dying Light 2, because I'm playing that off and on with Mass Effect, but Kirby, and I'll probably be playing that at work mostly, so that'd be fine for me.
Heck yeah.
And then there's something coming out in April. I forget. Colby, look it up.
Okay, I'm doing it. April game. Is it Outriders?
I don't know. Anything?
No, that came out in 2001. Sorry. Game's coming out in April 2022. Go. What?
Go. Do it.
I'm looking it up. I'm trying.
Fast.
Damn. I'm trying. Hang on. Are you thinking of Tiny Tina's in March?
Yes, I think so. No. There's something in April. Damn it. I'm not going to remember it. But I do want Tiny Tina as well.
Chrono Cross?
No, I don't think so. I don't even know if I'm going to play that again.
Wars?
Star Wars?
Nintendo Switch Sports?
Mm-mm.
Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga?
No.
Terrorbane?
The hell's Terrorbane? There's something.
So, but you could tell me.
There's something. Let's just look out. Games coming out soon.
This is great content. I'm sure people at home were like,
Shut up.
Google more things on this podcast.
Shut up. That's what they come to watch us for our witty commentary and fun.
And great Googling skills.
Exactly. Shut up.
Okay, while you're doing that, I will say...
I just can't. I can't find it. It's okay.
I would say a couple of things. Number one, the quote from Patrick Stewart about whether or not he's going to be in Dr. Strange is, people have been imitating my voice ever since I came on stage 60 years ago, so I can't be held responsible for that. And Ryan Reynolds,
have they?
About being in the movie, said, I guess I'm really not supposed to say anything about that, but I'm really not in the movie, Reynolds said. I could be an unreliable narrator, but I'm promising you I'm not in the movie.
Did he wink after? Wink.
yeah, and then he said wink out loud. It's very weird.
That's what I do.
You do. That is true.
We're like
it's about time to wrap up. So you've got
it's time to wrap up.
You better have the goods, Fee.
I don't. It's probably Tiny Tina. Okay,
so this was just all for nothing.
It was
Can
all
we
for
just
nothing.
cut out the last 10 minutes of the podcast? Or?
It was like 2 minutes. God, get out of here. God.
Sure. Listen, viewers, listeners, we actually paused the podcast for 20 minutes so if we could look at this game. And then
That's a
he
lie.
said very excitedly, I think I figured it out. And then we unpaused and now we're recording again. And he said it was Tiny Tina.
That's a lie. That is a lie. We didn't pause. Don't listen to Colby. He doesn't know what he's saying.
Well, I edit the podcast, so I know.
That doesn't mean it's true. You fucking shitter. God, I guess just Kirby and then Tiny Tina. There's something else. I'm gonna scream it out loud like next fucking week. I'm gonna be like, this game. Just
I found it. That's gonna be your nickname when we start.
Yeah, that's. Oh shit.
All right,
Saints Row comes out.
Listen. Yes, thank you for listening.
Yeah, thanks for...
As always, rate us a 5 in like literally every platform. You can write a bad review, but just give it a 5.
Yeah, even if you hated us, leave us a good 5 stars, a thumbs up all across the board. Like and subscribe. Yep. Follow us, even if you hate us, because people who hate things follow people who they don't like, so they could just hear them and seethe in anger. So if that's you, just keep doing it, because we'll be fine making you angry. We want to hear about it.
It'll be worth it.
Tell us in the comments how much you hate us, and then end with wink. I love you.
Yeah,
just be like,
just so that we know you're serious.
Yeah, so that's how we know you're serious. We're on
YouTube.
Yeah.
We're on YouTube now.
Kobe's gonna get the rest of our episodes on YouTube probably today or tomorrow.
So episode 13 is up currently, and the rest of the episodes should be coming up shortly. 13 is the only one that's up because of some weird reasons, but it is a good episode, so go listen to it.
It is a good episode. I'd wager our best episode maybe is the Halloween episode. We did one recently, and it was one of my favorites. The one where I imitate fucking No Respect at the end. What's his name?
Oh, Rodney Dangerfield?
Yeah, the one where I imitate, do the Rodney Dangerfield joke at the end. I think that's the Halloween episode. It's one of my favorites.
Just go listen to the Halloween episode over and over.
Yeah, I do. Just kidding. We're on Spotify. We're on iTunes. We're on anything you can listen to a podcast on. Facebook, YouTube. So be sure to like and subscribe. Rate us. Everything good on all the platforms. And, we're going to keep doing our thing. And more to come.
Yeah, and so just remember, whenever the Cyberpunk 2077 patch comes out, download it, create a new character, immediately go find that one mission in which you get a dildo that can kill everyone, and go get him.
Go get him! Dildo violence! Go help that sad vending machine.
Oh yeah, do that.
Oh shit, I love it.
But
also dual wield dildos for life. Just
in real life.
In real life, just dildo daggers for life. In Texas, we could do that.
It's legal.
It's legal here.
Bye.
Later. Bye. Dildo.